Hello, everybody. In a few days, a certain game comes out, and I haven't really played it in quite a long time. And it's my favorite game of all time. So I thought I would retread the same part that's going to be covered in both instances. So here we are. It's the original Final Fantasy VII, I guess ported onto PlayStation 4, although not much has changed. There's actually a little bug. It probably won't come up though, so we'll dwell on it if it does. When I saw it for the first time, I thought, I don't know. I've never seen a game look so real. A three-wheeled truck just came from. Having some nostalgia now. Although I maintain what's good about the game has very little to do with nostalgia. I guess we'll find out in about 10 days, give or take. Come on, newcomer. So we have access to some, I guess you could call them quality of life features. That always seemed weird. It's too smooth in this version, but I think they're actually porting maybe the PC version. So we can like speed up by doing something. This is no damage? I don't know. Oh, probably no battles. Either way, I'm gonna try not to do that. Might use speed up during stealing segments, but you know what? Maybe not even. Alright. One thing I don't love is that there's been quite a few different control schemes over the years in Final Fantasy. They kind of stuck with the same style for a little while. Like this one, I don't know. I just wish we could all just agree on what the confirm and cancel would be. Oh, I didn't say I'm with you. Cloud Strife. It's so interesting, because I did just play the demo. Things sure move along quicker, hey? We're already at the gate. But I mean, they wanted to expand the game. Barrett, I hope they take off his glasses eventually in the remake. I expect they will, though. I think it's gonna happen after you meet Reno. After you fight him, I should say. That's not too much of a spoiler. Not after you meet him. Technically also that. And Schroeder, they know someone's there. It's funny, they like spent all this money. I think every workstation they had for the 3D work on Final Fantasy VII was something like $100,000, but they figured we can get the best people if we, you know, get some fancy gear. Oh man! It's taken longer to kill this guy than in the remake, where they're a little bit tankier. if we'd rolled a 42, like I think he had 1 or 2 hit points the entire time. No matter. One concern I have with the remake is, so they've got, man, same positioning. Oh, it's gonna be pretty cool. They've orchestrated and done a really good job of all of the tracks, but I hope they still retain a little bit of the, I don't know, some of this is the right amount of synthetic sounding. It's gonna use fire on me, but oh, its spell is so weak it doesn't even matter. I also remember seeing the first time I played this game and being like, he has 311 hit points at the start of the game. In Final Fantasy VI, Terra starts the game at level 3. I thought it starts a little higher, but I mean, he's pretty experienced. I mean, technically, Terra probably has more experience, but she's younger. Whatever, man. And now we have a friend. One little detail I liked in the remake demo, they didn't have it very far off to the side, but right by the elevator, little Phoenix down, in the manual of the game, located about 5 feet to my right, they have a little tip that's like, hey, don't forget the Phoenix down. Micro 7. Like what I was saying about the music is, this doesn't sound real, but we're in this like artificial thing that's like sort of an abomination to the planet, right? It makes a certain amount of sense for it to have this artificiality to its sound. I'm actually kind of hopeful on that though. I'm more optimistic about the remake than some because I've enjoyed what I've played. It's definitely different. I won't even say it scratches the same itch, but gameplay in this game was never what was super special about it. I mean, we are basically playing Final Fantasy VI with different UI and graphics. If you're looking at the gameplay, walk around, talk to people, advance a fundamentally linear story. And I got no problem with that at all. It's not like I don't know, when people put, like, in the West we really glorify branching stories, I feel like, but no matter how talented your branching story writer is, I don't think they can write a more powerful story than if it were a linear narrative. Thanks, Jesse. Like, it's not like Citizen Kane would have been a better movie if, you know, you could get the good ending. He stops trashing that room and scaring his second wife. He figures out, the reporter figures out what Rosebud's all about. Like, that doesn't make it better. There's, like, that's the story to tell. Yeah, fine. Cower up. I'm glad to be back doing this. Oh, someone got a little somewhere. By and large, so that's like that save file would have been maybe around a 1/4 to 1/3 of the way through the game. I think of the end of disc 1 as being maybe about 60%. These guys sometimes take 2 hits. Actually, let's pay a little attention. We gotta save some hit points for, we'll call it a rainy day. Cloud's pretty much the best character in the game, but he is slow. It's the one thing he's not good at. That big honking sword is not agile. And they do a good job portraying it that way. He's this little guy with big power. Barrett is shooting at long range. And by the way, if this is like the first you're seeing of Final Fantasy VII, I got a Let's Play of it. I think it's the best Let's Play I've ever done. It was many years ago, but I mean, I intentionally practiced on other games I really liked so that when I came to my favorite, I kind of know what I felt I should do. But this is, I thought we'd all refresh our memories. It's always ambiguous which voice is telling Cloud that. Also, this isn't just a reactor. I don't know if that's exactly... That can't be quite a correct translation, because it is just a reactor. Because there's sort of... Well, I won't spoil it. Cloud's got a lot going on. So we got 1,000 hit points we gotta whittle through on this thing. You know, if you're in a hurry, you can have Barrett chuck grenades. Do we have any? No, we don't have any. Well, that's like an early... Speedrunners love it. Speedrunners love consumable items. I hate them. I'm just not wired like a person who wants to do games fast. I want to know what's in all the treasure chests. I'm a soft completionist. Some people are like, you have to have 99 of every item. It's like, well, that's excessive. Alright, he's not getting his hackles up too quickly, so that's nice. Probably about halfway through his HP here, because we're popping off a little over 100. Oh, here it comes. Every Final Fantasy game, they love to, and you're gonna get zapped. So let's just be patient. Although the first time I played this game was at a party at a friend's place, and everyone else was socializing, and then one of the girls I knew, she was like, I brought Final Fantasy VII. And I was like, really? And so 3 of us just sat on the couch the whole time. I met a lot of my best friends in life through Final Fantasy inadvertently. As a matter of fact, so yeah, my 3 best friends growing up, the big bonding thing with the first one was Final Fantasy VI. The second one I sort of knew who it was because we'd rented the same copy. She was the person who let me borrow her FF7 copy at that party and then later on as well. And yeah, so we really bonded over Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger. Because okay, my first friend had the copy of FF3, she had Chrono Trigger, and later FF7. And then I kind of didn't have anything. I was the poor kid. Let's get out of here. don't get to set the timer on this, and you don't even get to have the luxury of 20 minutes. However, like, this area is shorter. We're at 15 minutes and we're already on our way out. It's going for a different experience. I like that this is punchier, though. I think video games have gotten a little too attached to the more is better. Oh, okay, Barrett, you try that. Thought I heard someone say there's a way to not use your limit break, but you know what? You want to pop this thing off 10 times so that you can learn your next limit break. 6 to 10, it kind of depends on the character. I'm pretty sure Cloud is higher than the others. Basically, if it's a character they think you will use more, the requirement is more. Cloud also has to kill, has to kill a lot more enemies. So the fact that there's quit on the menu, I'm gonna accidentally wipe my other save file. Which, now that, upon reflection, I think that was me when I bought this version of it. I only got a little way through. So that is how far I have played the game since I did my original Let's Play of it. I mean, it might be like 6 years ago or something. If you don't rescue her, I guess I could have showed what happened if you don't rescue her, but... Ooh, we got a big one. So if I were actually in a hurry, I would run. We don't have the ability to attack all enemies, so... Oh yeah, he got it! So, I remember the first time I saw them try casting fire. It's like, uh-oh. And then it's like 13 damage. No big deal. If your character had 30 hit points, that would be like it doing 1. Anyway, and then the last best friend that I had growing up, and I've hung out with him kind of recently, actually. We live in different cities, but I think we've hung out 3 times in 2020. That's pretty good. Super Mario RPG was the big one. So what's kind of funny is those had release dates. FF6 was in 94, Chrono Trigger was in 95, Mario RPG was 96, whoops. And FF7 was September 7th, 1997. And so like every year I sort of picked up a best friend. And yeah, as it turned out, Square Enix was at the center of it, because those were more or less the only people I knew who were into RPGs. Like, everyone else was playing GoldenEye. FF7 was maybe a bit different. A lot of people played that one. Let's go! But yeah, this sort of stuff, I don't know, fills me with those happy memories. But again, a lot of people are gonna like, oh, that's just the nostalgia that makes people like this game. It's like, no way, this story is a really good character story. It's, yeah, I don't know. It's doing like what Christopher Nolan did with Memory and Memento, what he did with Guilt in Inception. Yeah, Cloud's tough, so we'll get the Batman trilogy in there, and then I feel like I'm missing one of the ones I like. Some Deception, like in The Prestige, like, I don't know, it's so ahead of its time. The remake. So the fact that we can still hear the music, I think, is a bug. I did ignore an update from the PlayStation, so maybe it fixes the music bug. So I'm under the impression the remake plays it exactly the same up to this point. I've only played the demo and like seen some of the other stuff, and then it starts expanding what you do in Midgar, and they have a lot actually. They have a lot more to go off of than most people think, because we have Crisis Core as well as source material, and Zach pokes around a little bit more. So I get the impression, oh man, loveless. I remember thinking that just looked so cool. Until they turned it into a Shakespearean play. The gift of the goddess. If you don't know what I'm talking about, hashtag blessed, that's what I say. What happened? Yeah, you'd better get out of here. A bomb went off. Hey, oh, do you want to talk? I've never told her that before. I didn't get a flower. 23 years later, I'd never picked that option once. I mean, I do think that was the best advice. I did, like, I set off a bomb. My Let's Play, I don't think I showed what happens when you fight these guys. I used to always do it for the experience. However, you only have one party member, and experience isn't sort of cut up and distributed amongst the party members on this one. You just, there's a flat experience, everyone who's alive gets it. I wouldn't mind seeing an average of the two systems, to be honest. Actually, party members throughout the game, people who are not in your party get 50% experience, actually. And I believe that starts as soon as now, although I can't prove it. Oh, that super spammed me. I didn't mean to take this fight, so I'm fiddling with the joysticks now. Right before you launch the game, I touched this. I'm glad to be playing Final Fantasy VII. Some people have concerns that the modern remake's battle system is going to deviate too far, but I played the still kind of ATB mode in my demo, because I figured most people would play it on normal, because the internet's full of swag. Can jump onto my second train of the day. But you can have something functionally quite close to that in the remake, which is pretty cool. They did a very difficult and elegant thing, I think. We'll see how, you know, a lot of that comes down to balance and enemy design, but bodes well. No way. Yeah, he's too tough. It was definitely much more subtle that Jesse kind of had a crush on Cloud in this one. I did pick up on it, but yeah, I like what they did with her for the remake. Oh, you know. Hey Bear, where's your red ribbon? Trying to show off. I do love Barrett's uncompromising lack of humor. Shut the door. Wake up. You'll hear that a lot. And as we listen to, I think this is Underneath the Rotting Pizza is the name of the song. I'll see you next time. We'll pick up where this leaves.